All right, everyone, welcome to another grammar segment with Professor Dennis. We're looking at powerful punctuation, and this is one of my favorite lessons. Now that you've gotten through some of the other grammar minis, we can actually do this one, and you're going to see something extremely powerful. So powerful punctuation. We're going to look at the comma, basic punctuation explained, and the Oxford comma. 2 spaces after a period, 1 space after a period. This is, old school writing versus new school writing. My only request to you, don't be the line break after every sentence, and don't be the big blank line after every paragraph. No. That's not correct MLA formatting. Also, remember your paragraphing. You got an email, 3-page email, and I brought you a gift. It's a clump of blank space, and you can use it to separate long, rambling, unrelated sentences. Next week, I'll introduce you to a little thing called the comma, and that's what we're working into now. So let me show you why commas matter. Read that one for just a sec. Yeah, so here there should actually be a comma after cook and before friends. And that's because you want to offset friends because you're specifically speaking to them. Don't be a psycho, don't cook your friends. Instead, learn how to cut, marinate, and cook friends. Otherwise, you are going to learn how to cut, marinate, and cook friends. Don't be a psycho, add the comma. When we're talking about punctuation, the comma and the period is the difference between slowing down for a second and stopping a thought altogether. So maybe there's some extra little phrase or information that needs added in, and it's not a full thought all on its own. That doesn't get a period, that gets offset by the commas. When it comes to academic writing, you do have 4 forms of punctuation. You have the comma, which is where they just take a break for a second. You have the period, which is where you're stopping one thought and moving on to the next. You have an exclamation point, which is really exciting, but it doesn't belong in academic writing. And you have a question mark, which shows that you're asking that question. Maybe you're a little confused about something, which we also try to avoid in academic writing. Instead, try to phrase your questions as statements, as fact, that you then support in those academic papers. One of my favorites is just, you do need to learn punctuation. It's important later in life, and this is definitely not punctuated correctly, as you can see. And it drives our brains a little crazy when we read something that's not punctuated correctly. And for this one, we have the semicolon and how it's supposed to be used as opposed to how it's been used in text speak. And it's okay to laugh at these. I tried to find you guys some funny ones so you could have a little bit more fun with your grammar lesson. But yeah, this is something that was used to separate complete sentences. Again, if you look at the fused and comma splice lecture, it shows you exactly how to use those semicolons. Next, there's a common debate about the Oxford comma and whether or not you should have it. I am going to tell you, you should. And I have some examples as to why. So here we have the Oxford comma, and that's the comma right before the and when you have a series of 3 or more. And a lot of people have been dropping that comma. So I had eggs, toast, and orange juice. Great, they're all separated out, they're all equal. Well, if you don't have the Oxford comma, you sound a little crazy because you sound like you're maybe talking to your toast and orange juice. Oops, I had eggs, toast and orange juice. Still don't believe me? Okay, well, let's look at another one. I like cooking my family and my pets. I think we have another case of psycho going on. We should not be cooking family or pets. We need commas here. So this would be a case where you have 3 and you need the commas. I like cooking, my family, and my pets. And when you have those commas, it's obvious that these are 3 separate things that you enjoy instead of enjoying cooking your family and your pets. Commas matter. They really do. And then we've got here someone who maybe doesn't understand who their parents are because their Oxford comma is missing. Huh. My heroes are my parents, Superman and Wonder Woman. Do you see how it sounds as if their parents are Superman and Wonder Woman? Really, this should have a comma after Superman. So you have, my heroes are my parents, Superman and Wonder Woman. So you can tell that it's a list of 3 and that it's not an explanation of who their parents are. That one extra little comma makes that big of a difference for your reader. And believe it or not, commas have caused law cases to be won or lost. The placement of one comma, one piece of punctuation can actually cause you to lose a lawsuit. Or if you're on the lucky side, win it. And this is why punctuation matters. It changes the meaning of the sentence. So if we take a look at the next one, I want you to actually pause the video. And you've got 2 different items here, and I want you to punctuate each of these. Don't change the wording, don't change anything. Just punctuate each one how you think it should be. Go ahead, pause. Did you pause it? Did you pause it? I actually want you to punctuate these, so do pause. All right, now that you've gone ahead and you've punctuated these how you think they should be, let's take a look at how punctuation makes a difference. The first one, private, no visitors allowed. The second one, a woman without her man is nothing. Let's see how punctuation changes the meaning of each of these without moving any words. So the first one, private, no visitors allowed. Okay, how about this? Private? No, visitors allowed. Big difference, completely opposite meaning. What about that other one? If some of you took a little bit of offense to that second sentence, this is where you're going to see the correction. So that second sentence, there's 2 different ways to really punctuate this. You have a woman without her man is nothing, which implies that a woman has to have a man or she is absolutely nothing. The second one, a woman without her man is nothing. Ooh, complete opposite meaning. Complete opposite meaning. There is not a single word that has been changed in this sentence. It's just been punctuated different. And the reason I show you this is because I want you to see punctuation does matter. It is huge. It is monumental when it comes to really helping your reader understand your thoughts. It creates a tone all its own. So with that in mind, I do want you to be able to use punctuation to your benefit. I have here some resources. There are commas, semicolons, and colons, and I'm going to get my mouse over here so I can hover over it. Anyone who's just watching this and you're not part of one of my classes, that would be what you would type in so that you can get access to that. This one's actually a PDF online, and that's where you would go to get access to that. And we have using semicolons, colons, and commas within sentences. And we even have a punctuation quiz that you can go to be able to kind of see how well you understand punctuation and how it functions. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this time. Punctuation does matter. And I want you to see that. I want you to understand that. I cannot emphasize enough that law cases have been won or lost based on their punctuation. Tone can change based on punctuation without changing a single word in the sentence. And so it is something you can play with in your own writing. All right, any questions, comments, or concerns, do send them my way, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.